Have you ever noticed how certain moments in life seem to arrive with perfect timing? Like the universe itself conspired to place you exactly where you need to be, when you need to be there? Well, if you're watching this video right now, in this exact moment, that's not a coincidence. Something significant is shifting in your reality, and this message found its way to you because you're ready to receive what's coming. Let me tell you something that might sound crazy at first. There are invisible currents that run through our lives, patterns that most people never notice because they're too busy looking at the surface. But when you start paying attention, really paying attention, you begin to see that nothing happens randomly. Every conversation that stops you in your tracks, every book that falls open to exactly the right page, every video that appears in your feed at the perfect moment, these aren't accidents. They're breadcrumbs leading you somewhere important. Right now, as you're listening to these words, there's a reason your attention was captured. Your subconscious mind recognized something it needed to hear, something it's been waiting for. And here's what I know about you without even meeting you. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That restless energy, that sense that something big is brewing just beneath the surface of your everyday routine. Maybe it started as a whisper, a quiet knowing that your current chapter is coming to an end. Maybe you've been having vivid dreams, or you keep seeing repeating numbers, or certain songs keep playing at the most random moments. Perhaps you've been feeling drawn to different places, different people, different ideas that don't quite make sense yet. These aren't random occurrences, they're signals. You see, major life transitions don't just happen overnight. They build slowly, like pressure in a pot before it finally releases. And right now, you're in that building phase. The universe has been preparing you, even if you haven't realized it yet. Every challenge you've faced recently, every moment of confusion or frustration, every time you felt like you were being pushed outside your comfort zone, all of it has been preparing you for what's about to unfold. But here's where most people get stuck. They feel the energy shifting, they sense something coming, but they resist it. They grip tighter to what they know, even when what they know isn't serving them anymore. They mistake the discomfort of growth for something going wrong, when actually it's everything going right. Think about the last few months of your life. Really think about it. Have you noticed patterns changing? Old relationships feeling different? Interests shifting in ways you can't quite explain? Work situations that used to feel manageable now feeling suffocating? These aren't problems to solve. These are indicators that you're evolving faster than your current environment can support. And that's exactly where you need to be right now. Because what's coming for you requires a different version of you. Not a completely new person, but the most authentic version of who you've always been underneath all the conditioning and expectations and fears that have been holding you back. Here's something fascinating about how major shifts work in our lives. They rarely announce themselves with fanfare. Instead, they start with subtle changes in your inner landscape. You might find yourself questioning things you never questioned before. Old goals that used to excite you might feel hollow now. Conversations that used to engage you might leave you feeling empty. This isn't depression or confusion. This is clarity trying to emerge. Your intuition has been working overtime lately, hasn't it? Sending you signals, nudging you toward certain choices, away from others. Maybe you've been dismissing these feelings as overthinking or anxiety. But what if they're actually your internal guidance system recalibrating for what's ahead? The truth is, you're being called towards something bigger than your current reality can contain. And that calling doesn't always feel comfortable. Sometimes it feels like everything familiar is falling away, leaving you standing in empty space, wondering what comes next. But that empty space isn't a void. It's a launching pad. Every person who has ever stepped into their true purpose has had to walk through this phase, the phase where nothing makes complete sense yet, but something deep inside knows that forward is the only direction that matters. You're not lost. You're not behind. You're not missing anything. You're exactly where you need to be, getting ready for exactly what you need to experience. And here's what I want you to understand about timing. The fact that you're feeling this restlessness, this anticipation, this sense that change is coming, means you're already in the process of transformation. The shift isn't something that will happen to you. It's something that's happening through you, as you, right now. So, when I tell you that something big is coming, I'm not talking about some external event that will magically fix everything. I'm talking about an internal revolution that will change how you see everything. A shift in perspective so profound that your entire world will look different, even though nothing on the surface may have changed. But before we dive into what this shift looks like and how to navigate it, there's something crucial you need to understand about resistance and why fighting what's coming will only make the transition harder than it needs to be. It needs to be. The resistance you're feeling right now, that voice in your head telling you to slow down, to be practical, to wait for the perfect moment, that's not wisdom. That's fear dressed up as logic. And it's the same fear that has kept countless people stuck in lives that were too small for their spirit, too safe for their potential. Here's the thing about resistance. It always shows up strongest right before the breakthrough. Think about it like this. When you're trying to break through a wall, the wall doesn't just crumble easily. It pushes back. It tests your commitment. It asks you if you really want what's on the other side badly enough to keep going when it gets uncomfortable. Your mind is doing the same thing right now. It's throwing every rational argument it can think of at you. What about security? What about other people's expectations? What about all the time and energy you've already invested in your current path? These questions aren't coming from a place of genuine concern. They're coming from a part of you that would rather stay in familiar discomfort than risk unknown possibility. But let me ask you something. When you imagine yourself 5 years from now, still living exactly the same life you're living today, how does that feel? When you picture yourself having the same conversations, facing the same limitations, feeling the same quiet dissatisfaction, what happens in your body? That sinking feeling, that tightness in your chest, that's your soul telling you that staying the same isn't actually the safe choice. It's the choice that slowly suffocates everything alive in you. The big shift that's coming isn't just about changing your external circumstances. It's about finally aligning with the frequency you've been avoiding because it felt too powerful, too risky, too much. You've been playing small, not because you lack capability, but because somewhere along the way you learned that being too much made other people uncomfortable. But what if their comfort was never your responsibility? What if the thing you've been most afraid of becoming is exactly what the world needs from you right now? What if your hesitation to step into your full power isn't humility, but actually the most selfish thing you could do? Because here's what happens when you keep dimming your light. Everyone around you learns that they should dim theirs too. Everyone watching you settle for less than what calls to you gets permission to do the same. Your playing small doesn't serve anyone. It just creates a world where mediocrity feels normal and authentic expression feels dangerous. The shift that's coming is going to ask you to stop apologizing for taking up space. It's going to require you to speak your truth even when your voice shakes. It's going to demand that you choose your own approval over everyone else's comfort. And yes, that's terrifying, but it's also the only path to a life that actually fits who you are. You've been preparing for this moment longer than you realize. Every time you felt like you didn't belong, every time you've had ideas that seemed too big or too different, every time you've caught yourself holding back because it felt safer, you've been building the muscle you'll need for what's ahead. The people who are meant to be in your life will celebrate this evolution. They'll recognize the version of you that's emerging and feel inspired by your courage to become who you really are. The ones who resist your growth, who try to pull you back into old patterns, who make you feel guilty for changing, they're showing you something important about the relationship. And yes, there will be losses. Not everyone will understand the path you're being called to walk. Some connections that felt important will naturally fade. Some environments that used to feel like home will start feeling foreign. This isn't failure. This is evolution. You're not meant to carry everyone with you into your next chapter. But here's what you'll gain. You'll gain access to parts of yourself that have been waiting in the wings. Creativity that's been suppressed. Intuition that's been dismissed. Passion that's been deemed impractical. Strength that's been hidden behind politeness. All of it is coming online now because you're finally ready to handle the responsibility of your own power. The timing of this shift isn't random. It's happening now because you've reached a level of inner development that can support what's trying to emerge. You've done enough healing to not destroy what you're about to create. You've gained enough wisdom to not repeat the patterns that kept you stuck. You've developed enough discernment to recognize what's truly aligned versus what just feels familiar. So when the opportunities start showing up, and they will, don't second guess them. When the doors start opening in ways you never expected, Walk through them. When people start responding to you differently, reflecting back a version of yourself you've never seen before, receive it. This is what alignment looks like. This is what it feels like when you stop fighting your own expansion. The universe has been conspiring in your favor this entire time. Every detour that felt like a setback was actually preparation. Every closed door was protecting you from something that wasn't meant for you. Every moment of uncertainty was teaching you to trust something deeper than your logical mind. And now you're here, standing at the threshold of everything you've been unconsciously preparing for. The restlessness you've been feeling, the signs you've been noticing, the way this video found you at exactly the right moment, it's all been leading to this understanding. You're not waiting for something big to happen. You are the something big that's happening. The shift isn't coming from outside of you. It's been building inside of you all along, gathering momentum, waiting for the moment when you'd finally stop resisting and start receiving. That moment is now. The person you're becoming has been trying to emerge for longer than you realize, and every signal you've been getting has been your future self calling you forward. So trust the timing, trust the process, trust the part of you that knows without knowing how it knows. The old version of you that needed everything to make sense before taking action is dissolving. The new version that moves from alignment rather than logic is taking the wheel. And that's exactly what needs to happen for what's coming next. This isn't the end of your story. This is the moment everything real begins. The universe found you ready, brought you this message, and now it's time to step into the life that's been waiting for you to claim it. Something big isn't just coming. Something big is already here, and it's you.